It happened in 2014. The news shook the world when Boko Haram kidnapped 200 Nigerian schoolgirls in the village of Chibok. Since then, the group continues to attack villages, capturing children to join them as modern-day slaves, forcing some into underage marriage to older men in their rank and file. To protect their children, families have fled to nearby countries such as Chad and Cameroon. Now, living in a camp in Chad, Hawa Nasura recalls that day when she heard gunshots while she tended to her baby at home in northeastern Nigeria. His name is Mohammed. Hawa and her husband found him crying next to the lifeless body of his mother. She took Mohammed into her arms and crossed Lake Chad with him and her family, seeking refuge. Humanitarian organizations such as UNHCR and its partners are providing basic shelter, food, and necessities to more than 18,000 Nigerian refugees living in Chad. Baby Mohammed is one of more than 120 Nigerian refugee children in Chad, whose parents were lost in the violence and during the upheaval while fleeing the country. In Cameroon, UNHCR is also supporting Nigerian families who fled to escape the violence and protect their children. In March, UN High Commissioner for Refugees Antonio Guterres visited Minawao camp in Cameroon, where more than 33,000 refugees live.
Let's be clear, what's happening in Nigeria is very similar to what's happening in Syria. It's the same kind of problem, and it requires the same kind of commitment, the same kind of support from the international community. And we hope that the international community will be able to show it.
While the refugees wait for help, they tell similar stories. Saratu, mother of 4, remembers that morning when dozens of heavily armed men arrived in her village.
Sai muka fara gudu wani kowa ya riga ya kama gudu. Ni da yayana guda uku mun fara gudu ta hanya daya. Ba mai gidana kuma da yaro na daya dama suna kusa da dukiya a dutse. Sai da suka wayannan mutane sun zo sai su ma sun kama gudu. Da suka kama gudu zuwa jeji sai mai gidana ya gaji. Da ya gaji sai ya tsaya karkashin bishiya.
10-year-old Ibrahim lived to tell his own tale.
Daga tsara ni kawai, ni kuma dama ban iya tashi ba. Da ana so in tashi na ce da ba zan iya tashi ba. Sai rana yayi, sai ni kuma na busa zuwa karkashin abunan genne kaɗan.
Somehow, Ibrahim survived, but his life will never be the same, says Saratu.
Sosai ma ya canja. Abin da ya sha, ya gani da idon shi. Kuma a karshe, shi din ne yana bani hakuri ma. A karshe wahalan da ya sha. Shi da bakin shi ya faɗi cewa mama ki yi hakuri.
A few months ago, the Nigerian military rescued hundreds of women and girls from Boko Haram. However, the 200 girls kidnapped from Chibok were not among them. For now, refugees in Chad and Cameroon hold vivid memories of the attacks and can't even think of going home. But they're most grateful that they're still alive. This report was produced by Mary Ferreira for the United Nations.